I realize there has been a little bit of confusion of late with the 2025 Audi Q5. Now, the one I'm driving is the actual all-new Audi Q5. Let's take it for a spin. The Q5 rides on Audi's ubiquitous PPC platform. That means this is the one that all of its combustion engines and those cars drive on. So it does get a little bit bigger than it was last generation, and I'm not necessarily convinced that it feels like it drives any bigger than it did before, but it definitely still has very specific and significant SUV qualities when it comes to the maneuvering and the handling of it.
So I'll give you a quick second to check it out here, but if you really want to take a deep dive into how it looks, well, Mike Danger did that. Sounds like I'm tattling on him, right?
It does get powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It makes 263 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. I'm actually quite happy that I'm driving it up in the mountains because it does give me an opportunity to really see how this thing performs, both at altitude and going up and down pretty significant hills. I will say this, I just drove Audi's A5, which is equipped with exactly the same engine, and it feels like it's just working a teeny bit harder in this application here, but you do have drive modes that will change up the throttle mapping a little bit. So there's a balanced mode where you're crossing the line between sporty and regular comfort driving, and I do feel that in comfort mode it definitely takes a little bit more foot into the throttle, but then I'm going to throw it into dynamic and it becomes a lot more responsive, especially when you are climbing up hills up here. The transmission in the Q5 is a 7-speed automatic transmission, and I do feel like when you are either going up a hill or doing some driving like this, it may not grab the gear that you want as quickly as you want it, but it's really easy. That's really easily solvable with the paddle shifters. So if you're going around something and you want to get a little bit more juice going, you can downshift and then you can upshift. I don't think most normal people under normal driving conditions are going to do that or need that, but it's there as an option if you want it. Otherwise, I think the shifts are really smooth. It's really, the ratios are really nicely spread out. So overall, I think the combination of the powertrain is an effective one for the Q5.
It's not as sprightly as the A5, no. It's got crossover stature, and you do feel that a bit when driving by comparison. But chances are, if you're buying the Q5, you're not heaving it around canyons, but looking elsewhere for something more appropriate. That's smart. But as it is, the Q5 feels as comfortable, obedient, and energetic as most drivers are ever going to need and want, and reasonable gas mileage to boot. Of course, it is an Audi, and like all of them, Quattro comes standard. Audi's system works great. It inspires confidence, just like the brakes on this thing, especially in inclement weather.
Unlike the A5, the Q5 is available with an optional adaptive air suspension. As far as the ride goes, I definitely have it in this car right now, and the ride is super comfortable. I mean, I still feel imperfections in the road. Obviously, here in Colorado, you're really going to feel them because as the road expands and contracts, it kind of makes for nice, lovely bumps in which to test out said air suspension. But the ride is really comfortable, and I really like it a lot. The other reason why I would say yes to an adaptive air suspension is because you can change the levels of the ride height depending on the kind of driving that you're doing.
The steering feel is good, not too heavy, not overly boosted and assisted. This is very much a just right vehicle, and nothing stands out as being too much or not enough. Normal ground clearance comes in at 8.3 inches, but the Q5 can get up to 2 inches higher than that. Mind you, that is at speeds less than 5 miles an hour, but it does rise up when you're in off-road and off-road plus modes.
You can also do a bit of light off-roading in this vehicle, and we're gonna get a chance to do that right now. So there are two off-road modes in the Q5. One is off-road, one is off-road plus. I am on some pretty significant washboard right now. And again, with that air suspension, it really does make a lovely difference when it comes to your comfort level on here. I don't want to go like super fast. This is not a rally car. This is not a rally stage. But I will say this, like I know that this car can do probably quite a bit more than the average normal person would do in an off-road situation. But if you do plan on doing a lot of off-roading stuff or driving on unpaved roads, I would highly consider getting that air suspension on your vehicle.
Off-Road Plus will turn off traction control for the most part, and that mode will be best on loose gravel, sand, or basically any terrain where you want to keep up more momentum. Normal off-road mode works best on dirt roads, just like this gorgeous one that I'm on in Aspen. I am so mad at Audi for telling me this was not a rally stage in a rally car. Arrgh. Oh, and maximum towing capacity rounds out at 4,400 pounds.
If you like the Q5, but you're looking for something with a little bit more gumption, then let me recommend the SQ5. This one gets powered by a 3-liter turbocharged V6. Here you're looking at 362 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. That's a pretty monstrous number. And I mean, exponentially, you can imagine just how much more fun you're actually gonna have in this thing. It makes also like very cool noises. Here I've got a straightaway here. We'll see how this does. Yeah, that'll speed up your commute pretty fast.
Yes, of course, as you've guessed, with that SQ5, you do sacrifice to the Environmental Protection Agency gods. But I don't believe that those numbers are so punitive because you are getting that added juice.
This does come with that adaptive air suspension standard. The seats are really comfortable. They've been reworked. They're a little broader in the shoulders now, so this is going to fit a lot of body types and make a lot of people really happy when they're driving this car. You also can get a massaging function, heating, ventilated seats. So obviously the higher up that you go on the trim level, just the more amenities you're going to be able to get. And then as for visibility, I have zero problems. Over both shoulders, it's excellent. In the rear, it's fantastic. Yeah, and then you have this beautiful panoramic sunroof that just allows you to look at the clouds up above, especially here in spectacular Colorado. So the driving experience, just sort of you connecting with the car and kind of being with the car, Audi really has taken it to the next level as far as the tech and the comfort go. So there was one thing that Mike Danger noted in his video about the door handle here, and that is because there's this touchpad right here, and you can't use this smaller bit as the handle anymore. You have to use this piece as the handle. And as you can see, for those of us with a tiny hand, you kind of are gonna have to do it like this and not like this. So this new control panel for mirrors and for seat settings and for unlocking and locking the door is taking up what used to be a very convenient door handle here. So make an adjustment. I think it's fine. As you can see, this is pretty much wall-to-wall screens. I feel like they call this the digital stage, and they're not incorrect. It's a lot of screens. That passenger screen is optional. You don't have to get it. As for the screens here, they're very driver-oriented and focused, which I think is terrific. As I mentioned in the A5 video, I love the fact that they're sort of coming this way, because anything that's over here, I can actually reach this with my hand without having to lean forward, and I have such short arms that I think is also just a fantastic byproduct of the shape here.
There is acoustic glass on the front windshield and more optional acoustic glass on the rear. If you want to know how passenger space feels, well, see here, Danger did it. He can consume a lot of space. Check out his full video at the link above right here. One thing I do not like are the haptic controls on the steering wheel. This gives me Mercedes vibes, and I'm not having it. Several times while making turns, I inadvertently swiped one with my right hand and it changed the infotainment screen. It's annoying, Audi. Please, let's find another option.
There's a button right here that you can push that will take you to all of the ADAS settings. So you don't have to dig through a bunch of different menus trying to find something to turn off the lane keeping assist and all of that kind of stuff. So kudos, Audi, because I hate it when I have to search around for this stuff because I'm getting bumped back and forth. I love that.
Pricing starts on the Q5 at $53,495, including destination fees. If you get the Prestige, you're looking at $61,895. If you're into a sportier Q5, which I'd totally get this one, then the Sportback starts at $57,195, with the SQ5 topping the charts with a $66,095 price tag.
If the Q5 sounds interesting to you, click on the link above and Kelley Blue Book can help you find a fair purchase price on this or any other luxury SUV.
Other options in this space include the X3 from BMW, the Genesis GV80, the Lexus NX, the Mercedes-Benz GLC, and the XC60 from Volvo.
If you're in the market for a luxury, sort of compact, 5-passenger SUV, I would definitely recommend putting the Q5 on your list. I think the upgrades that they've done to this in the all-new generation really make it one to watch.